This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection. Hey everyone, this is Letty from the Metal Soul Podcast. I'm here with Kevin and Stephen from Fangclub.
Hello, very nice to be here.
You're here in the Marble City, Kilkenny. How are you doing?
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
First time playing in Kilkenny, so yeah.
Have you been to Kilkenny before, just visiting, or?
I've never been to Kilkenny.
I've also never been to Kilkenny. I think I've been through Kilkenny, but I've never been in.
I've heard good things though.
Yeah. I mean, like, Kilkenny to me was like really famous when we were growing up with the Kilkenny Laughs and the comedy scene here.
The cat laughs, yeah.
The cat laughs, that's what it was, yeah. But yeah, I've never. I was one of those festivals I always wanted to go to, never got a chance to. But yeah, loving it here though. It's great.
So many cool bands, kind of like either are from here or play here, and it's like like Curb Dog and stuff. So we've always kind of wanted to be here, but like never found the right show to play. So
that's fair enough. It's kind of like a mind-blowing moment for myself because I'm a massive fan of you guys. In fact, you announced and played Town. I was like, my God, no way.
That's amazing. Thanks so much. That's brilliant.
No worries. Did you get kind of a chance to look around town and all that? Or?
I haven't, but you did.
I got to go next door to, oh my God, what's the name of the pub?
Pump House?
Yes. And it was a cover band playing there. They drew me in with, they were playing Tom Petty, and I was just kind of got drawn in. And they started playing Radiohead, and I was like, I'm going to absolutely get a beer here. So that's what I did. So that's all I've really seen of it, to be honest. But I had a great time, though, when I first got here. Yeah. And then Cleeres have obviously been so insanely welcoming to us here as well. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Mm-hmm.
Big off Cleeres.
Yeah. I've walked from the car park to the venue, and what I saw was amazing. So I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm gonna move there.
I'd love to have you. It's one of the best cities in the world.
Yeah, it really is.
To our listeners who maybe haven't heard of you guys before, could you introduce yourself and your role in the band?
Yeah, I'm Stephen, and I sing and play guitar in the band.
I'm Kev. I play bass and sometimes shout and scream a little bit, as is my way. And yeah, that's basically my role. I also do merch a lot of the time as well. I'm usually stuck on the merch table and kind of, I know, to be fair, I stay stuck in the merch table. I love it. I get to talk to everybody afterwards and before the shows and just kind of get to meet people, and yeah, it's great.
Kev can't let that like retail life go,
I used to work in Golden Disc, so I'd be kind of like selling the music anyway, so it's kind of
I'm also in the retail life. I work Tesco, the one literally just up the street, like.
No, that's nice. Yeah, that's the way it is. I used to lift washing machines for Curry's and PC World, so yeah, it's like Yeah.
Lift with your legs. Lift with your legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Lift with your neck.
Exactly.
So this is the second last day of the Irish tour. How was it?
Yeah, like amazing. Like it's been really, really good. Like we started off in Belfast, and it was just that we hadn't been to Belfast in like years.
Like 2019, I think. So it's 6 years.
6 years, and it was a packed out show, and it was really fun, and everybody was just having a great time. And then the next show, Galway, we didn't know what was going to happen with Galway, and it turned out to be one of the best shows. It's pretty wild. And then Limerick, and Limerick is always a great time. Like Dolan's always going to look after you and stuff. So yeah, it's been really great, and we've been looking forward to this one as well. And then the last one's going to be in Cork. So yeah, it's cool.
Nice little run, because what was it? The Siege is on today in Dolan. So
yeah.
We were talking about that last week.
We were wondering, like, because it's always such a great time down there with the Siege, like, So Kieran, who does the sound down there, he was telling us about it. So one day we'll kind of, our schedules will align and we'll be able to just go to the Siege and just hang out and like
just write an album full of metal riffs.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, just do a full metal album, and then we can just join.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Can I be part of the club, guys? Kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You released your EP All Good in 2024. How was the recording process for it?
The recording process, yeah, it was. I mean, it was pretty tough. Like, it was, with the whole, with the pandemic and lockdown and all this stuff, and every band has this story now where it's like, you're separated for like long amounts of time and stuff. And so I was just writing and recording a lot of stuff. And by the time we got to the studio, maybe it was like 2 years of doing demos. And then when we got to the studio, it was like very kind of like, oh god, it was like, it felt like the first time we were in a studio again, and but it was cool though. And it kind of, when I listen to those songs now, it kind of, they sound like that as well. They sound like the pressure, we were putting a lot of pressure on ourselves as well, like to do those songs. So yeah, it was kind of, it was a strange time, but like but amazing as well, because it really helped in the writing of the songs. Yeah,
because I remember when you like started the teaser announcements and all that, and I was like, the stars are aligning. It's happening. They're coming back.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, it was just like one of those things where we were like, we had these songs, and like, you're kind of like, you don't know if you're gonna do another EP or album or anything. Like, nobody knows anything now with the music industry, and it can go either way really. But we felt like we had to kind of come back anyway. I felt like I had a couple of more songs in me and stuff. So yeah. That was cool. Oh wow, thanks very much. We're getting wined and dined on this interview podcast as well. So.
Pizza's just been delivered.
Amazing.
And Kevin, did you enjoy recording the EP as well?
Yeah, I loved it. It was a slightly different process to the last couple of albums and EPs I think we did, because we'd made sure to do the drums in a studio, and then we kind of did guitars and bass and vocals. Kind of a rehearsal room, like ourselves as well, for the first time really. Now we had an engineer with us, but it was doing it, I think, a little bit more DIY this time as well, and experimenting with it and see if you can kind of get a sound we were happy with, which I think we were able to manage to do as well. So it was a bit of a learning process, but there's nothing wrong with that though as well, and I love how it turned out and sounds now as well. So yeah, it was a great process. Really, it's very relaxing not to be in a studio with an insane amount of pressure when you're just doing it in our rehearsal room, and it's a much more relaxed atmosphere, I think it is in there, and yeah.
Just kind of come and go as you please kind of thing.
Yeah, that was it. It was just me, you, and Alex in the room for most of the time when I was doing my bass, so it was great. Yeah.
Awesome. The EP, it rolls, by the way. It's so awesome.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're more than welcome. And do you have a favourite memory from the recording of it?
Oh god, in the middle of recording it, actually, we got asked to, like, very last minute, we got asked to open up for Kings of Leon at the Tree Arena. So we were kind of like literally recording the thing like one day, and then we had to like get ready and just go open for Kings of Leon. And it was a weird moment. It's like one of those moments again where you're kind of like, stars aligning kind of thing. And our heads were like fully in recording mode, so we were like, oh, are we even ready to play this gig and stuff, But no, it was that was probably a cool memory, and we were kind of already obsessed with like the recording process. So when we were playing that show, even my head was kind of still thinking about the songs and stuff, recording the songs and stuff. But that was cool.
I think for me, this is I guess it might be, well, it's personal anyway, but there's a song we're doing, and you know what, it's not even on the EP, or even the new one we're bringing out. I don't think the song's on it.
Okay.
But I do remember recording it and not being able to get this one part. I just couldn't. It was whatever timing it was, and I just couldn't get it. And I remember getting like really, really just annoyed and frustrated, and you're like, so we're just like, just go out and take a breather. And I was like, just really, really annoyed at myself. But it was just going outside and just taking a minute and listening to you guys as well, and then coming back in, and as soon as I sat down, just nailed it first time. And it was just, I don't know, it was a weird, just nice moment of just being friends and pals with you and Alex, and just having each other's backs, I suppose.
Yeah, it was kind of like, don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah.
And like, you can be afraid to fail all the time in this kind of, in the music stuff. So. And
sometimes you just need a breather.
Yeah, and sometimes and you have to fail, and you have to just throw these things out there and stuff, and those things stick, and it's cool.
I can just imagine you guys outside the studio talking about the bass part and be like, yeah man, that bass part really doesn't understand where it's coming from.
Exactly, yeah. It's not really hitting the emotional tone that I intended on this song. Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of opening, I'm going to rewind a few years back to the 8th of June 2019. Don't know if it rings a bell for you.
No, I don't know what happened that day.
8th of June, what happened that day?
No, can't remember.
No memory at all.
Slane Castle might, but how was it with that whole kind of day fest, opening up for Metallica at Slane Castle? How was that?
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, it was, pretty overwhelming when we got the offer. It was like, wow. Like, it was just like, I never thought this would ever happen, ever. But also, it's kind of like, it's kind of like you have that kind of ego, cocky feeling inside you where you're like, you always knew that this would happen. You know what I mean? Like, so you're like, yeah, of course I'm playing. It's like, it's like, whatever. And but when we turned up in our van, like, to Slane Castle on the day, it was like you come over this huge hill to come down into the kind of huge campus and stuff backstage. It was like the biggest backstage campus thing I'd ever seen ever, and that was the most overwhelming thing ever. And you can see
even like festivals we played, like pale in comparison.
Yeah, the size of the stage and everything, and there was helicopters coming in and all this, and that was when it really hit, and it was like, oh, okay, right, okay. we better just go up and just do our thing, and like that's all you can do. And
it's one of those days I think that just rushed by though as well, because like
time flies when you're having fun now.
Yeah, exactly, but like it's a half hour set, but like you've all this build up towards it, and then this half hour is like such a quick half an hour. But I always kind of say as well, when we're playing gigs like these, like Shout Tonight for example, where it's like 100 people, are way more nerve-wracking to me than, because there's such a huge gap between us and the audience and that, and it's just a blur of people, and you're like, this is fucking cool looking, but sorry, I don't know if we can curse in this.
It's all good. No, do it all you want.
But it's a weirdly less nerve-wracking gig to play sometimes, because you can't see people's faces.
It was less intimate kind of thing.
It's a strange one, because it's like there was a moment where like the Metallica crew said you can use the platform, so they have this huge platform that goes out into the middle of the crowd that James would run out on.
It's like the where the snake pit kind of
thing. Yeah. So they said they were like, the Metallica crew were amazing. They were so sound, like, and they were like, yeah, you can use that, and you can like have fun, guys, like, So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna leg it down that, like, it's gonna be great. But like, we've only been playing clubs and stuff for like years, like, so I went like full force legging it down this fucking thing in the middle of a song, and my lead is not long enough. So I just get one of those cartoon type things where the lead pulled me back into the stage. I went back and nearly came out with the guitar, and I was just like, oh shit, right, I can't do that. Yeah, that was like it. That was
nice of them to offer, though.
It was nice of them to offer. I was like, I better not.
It's like, it's cool. I got halfway down it, kind of thing.
Yeah. I was like, I'm halfway there, guys. I'm half a rock star.
And did you get to meet the Metallica dudes, or were they just like kept separate?
Kept separate.
They flew in, I think, before they went on stage. So we didn't. Yeah, we never got to meet them, unfortunately.
Yeah. We saw, like, I think we were like coming off stage, and we saw like one of their helicopters or something coming.
Oh yeah.
And then we were kind of like with Stiff Little Fingers and Ghost and stuff like that. And that was really cool. Like, it was I can't even like put it properly into words, like how big that whole thing was. It really felt like just a giant festival just for one band. It was amazing. Like, it was pretty incredible. Yeah.
Because on Setlist FM, it's actually listed as Slane Castle One Day Festival kind of thing.
Wow. Okay. Right.
Makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah. That does make sense. Yeah.
And that was my first introduction to you.
Oh, no way. That was the first. That was the first time. That's so cool. That was, I think, a lot of people's first time they ever saw us and stuff. So we went on tour around Europe like after that show, and everybody who came to the shows in Europe saw us at Slane. Yeah. They had all flown over to see Metallica at Slane and caught our set and stuff. So it really did help us, like, at the time. It was really amazing, like, and we were just like so out of our depth that, you just have to have fun with it though, like,
Oh, you had lots of fun. I think I should have counted, but you must have said we are Fangclub about 30 times.
Yeah. I kept saying it over and over again. Yeah.
My
I said
favourite
that
one
just-
was in French, Je m'appelle Fangclub.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think I was like, right before we went on stage, the record label came back to backstage, and they were like, they kept saying, make sure you say your name, make sure you say the band name. And I'm kind of like, I can be a bit of a little cheeky prick sometimes.
Sarcastic, we'll call it.
Yeah, sarcastic. So I just kind of kept repeating the name over and over again, even though like there's like 2 massive screens with the name on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the people who got it, and the people who didn't started a blog or something. So it's like
Band says band name 50 times. Unfollow.
There was definitely a meme on the Simpsons meme page about it, and I was like, okay, we've made it.
Yeah, we've done it. Yeah, this all helps us. Like
Yeah.
You can both give an answer for this one, and it doesn't have to be for Fangclub. If you could collaborate with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ooh, no, you go first. This is a
Oh my god. I mean, it's got to be something like Chemical Romance, like Jared Way probably,
Ooh,
or
good one.
Frankie Euro.
I saw LS Dunes when they supported
Rise
Against just recently as well, and just Frankie's as good as ever. I mean, I love LS Dunes anyway, but probably Frankie Euro. Maybe Frankie or Jared. I think would be one of my 2 tops. I think.
You know, Elliott Smith. So he, his band before he went solo called Heat Miser.
I don't know them.
They were proper like rocking, like really really cool. So I would want to try get him to do that again. I'd be like, I want to see where he would go with that, like, because he left the rock behind for the beautiful acoustic music, but I want to see where he would go with that.
You want to get him back into rock?
Yeah, back into rock music, like like make a bit more noise again, but Elliott Smith.
There's some good answers, and my favorite song by you guys is Follow. Is there a story behind that song?
Oh God, I don't know. Like I guess there is like stories behind all the songs, but like I wouldn't want to ruin what people think the song's about and stuff. So I wouldn't want to. Yeah, I can't go into it. No, I can't say.
That's fair enough. And how did you feel when it was used in Dirt 4? You know, the video game?
Yeah, that was pretty surprising. That was pretty cool. But it was kind of like a nice moment where, like, I really kind of got obsessed with music because of I heard Blur's song 2 in like FIFA 98.
Oh yeah,
So
the World Cup game.
Yeah. So like when we got a song into a video game, I was just like, oh yeah, this is amazing, like, this is cool. And then we had people come to the gigs who just had heard that in the video game, so it's like, it was so cool.
Like my first introduction to Feeder was Gran Turismo 3, I think it was, on PlayStation 2, and they had 3 Feeder tunes on it, of like Just a Day and 7 Days in the Sun and Buck Rogers as well. So video games for both of us really when we were growing up introduced us definitely to bands, so being a part of that was a huge honour.
It was Need for Speed for me, the run.
Need for Speed was great.
Class, yeah.
And any of the GTA games as well, with just the radio stations were all brilliant too.
I only figured out how to do the radio stations recently in GTA.
No way.
Then I figured out, I was like, oh, I'm so dumb. How didn't I figure this out before?
I mean, to be fair, I think it took me and the last one a while to figure out how to change the station too, so I think they made it more complicated. I don't remember it being as complicated before.
Why, Rockstar, why? Do you have any favourite album releases of 2025 so far, or any that you're looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to Dinosaur Pilot's new album.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna come out in August, I think, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Should be good.
Off the top of my head, oh my god, I'm trying to think now. There has been a couple, and you're after putting me on the spot. Give me a sec, and I'll probably remember something. But
You got a Waves album coming out.
new Waves album, that's been great. Hold on, I'm gonna go into my Spotify right now and see if I've liked anything recently.
I know Slipknot are rumouring to release like their album that they recorded and then shelves, but they've been threatening this for the last 5 years,
Okay.
it's like
Bit of a Guns N' Roses situation with, what was it, Chinese Democracy, where it was like, how many years was that?
geez, that was like 20 years.
20 years it took for them to release that album.
Oh, do you know what? There's a singer-songwriter called Emma Harner. I don't know if you know her. But she's a song called "Do It" that she released early this year, and she's done a couple of duets with Orla Garland as well. She's like an Irish singer too. She's brilliant, by the way, as well. But Emma Harner is one of mine. She's absolutely incredible. She's like a singer-songwriter, which is great. Very different.
Awesome, I'll have to check her out. And we're on to our last question. Do you have any advice for anyone wanting to start a band in 2025?
Just do. The best thing I think I would say to any band is just do it because you love it, or for the fun of it. Because that's what we started. It was just we just bonded over punk rock and just wanted just to play together.
Yeah, there's like all these cliches and stuff where it's like, you know, you can get like caught up in and stuff for like being in a band and starting a band and doing music and stuff. And at the end of the day, I think the reason we really did it was like we had nothing else going on, and we were just kind of three friends that we were, you know, we just wanted to like play music and be excited about music because we loved the bands that we saw, and it was just like a fun thing, and never took it too seriously. And it happened to get more serious, like with putting out albums and doing tours and stuff like that. But really, at the end of the day, it was like we just like at the start, like when we were like we bought this terrible like crappy van that kept breaking down, but that was like we lived in it, and like we would like go play a gig and then sleep in it in the car park, and like that was probably the most fun that we'd ever had. Like, you know, was that those kind of times were the best. And you have to kind of just you have to do it and do it and love it, and don't worry about don't want the attention from it, you know what I mean? Don't worry about that. Just do it and make some good music. And
because I think like after we came back into rehearsals from the pandemic, it was just when we played together again for the first time, you're like, oh, I missed this so much, and I missed you guys so much, and you're like, oh, this is the reason why we're doing this. It's not a massive amount of money in doing this. You do it because you love it. Yeah. And unless you do love it and you have fun playing with it, I think you might be doing it for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. So, just do it because you love it. That's the best advice.
Yeah, it's like the first thing I think about, and then in the morning, and then the last thing I think about when I'm going to sleep is just, you know, oh, this cool idea for this song. I can't wait to show the guys. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. You know, and if that's in you, fucking go for it. You know, like do it. You know.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out your day to talk to me.
Thank you.
Very, very welcome. Thank you for interviewing us.
No worries at all. And All Good is out now.
Thank you.